Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jennifer Masry. So I just wanted to talk about finding the perfect barn that suits your needs. So my suggestion is when you go check out a barn, always have a bunch of questions written out before you get there. Don't get very emotional about the barn. Sit there and be calm and cool and actually look at everything. So when I say look at everything, I want you to, before you get there, make a list. Make a list of what would be your perfect barn. So for me, it would be an indoor-outdoor would be number one for my horse, with a turnout. I definitely need a riding ring. It'd be preferable to have a round pen. That's preferable. Doesn't mean to have it, but it'd be preferable. But it's not a yes or no. Another thing is I would like my barn to have a bathroom. I would like it to have a wash stall and a grazing area. Be nice, So those are the things that, I would like in a barn. So I write that down. And so when I go to the barn, I'm going to actually ask the barn owner to show me around. You want to find out what kind of hay they feed, because it's very important, because your horse is going to be living there. You want to find out what kind of grain they feed, and you want to find out if you can bring your grain, depending on what grain your horse is on. Will it be issue for them to buy that grain? Will it be issue for them to purchase that hay for you? The other thing you want to ask while you're there is you want to check out the stall. You want to find out what kind of bedding they use. Some people prefer the pellets. Some people prefer shavings. So you want to find that out. You want to find out, are they cleaning the stalls? Or are you cleaning the stalls? Is it a semi-rough board? Is it a rough board? Is it a full board? These are questions you have to ask, and in the back of your mind, you have to know what you're looking for. Also, when you're looking the stall, you want to look, do the horses have 2 water buckets? Do they have a bucket outside for water? In the winter, do they actually have electric that gives you an electric water bucket, or do you have to buy your electric water bucket? You want to check, do they have a place for a grain bucket? You want to check, how do they feed the horses? Are they using hay nets? Are they putting the hay on the ground? Are they putting the hay into some sort of basin? These are things that you have to know, because maybe you prefer the hay to be in hay net. Maybe you don't. So these are things you have to look into. Another thing is you're going to look at the stall. You're going to see how the stall looks. Is there poop all over the place? Is the stall, an adequate amount of poop is normal, but not to the point where there's poop all over the place, then that's not adequate. You want to also look at the lighting. Is the lighting situation going to be an issue for you? Do you have enough lighting? So possibly when you're there in the winter or you're there at night, is there enough lighting? You want to look at the riding ring. What kind of footing does it have? Some people prefer, to have just a sand ring. Some people want a grass ring. Other people, sometimes they want the ring that has, there is a different textured, ring that you could buy now, and it's a little bit more expensive. Do they carry that, like a synthetic type of ring? These are things to find out. These are things to ask. Go look at the ring. How large is it? Is it a 90 by 90? Is it 100 by, 50? I don't know. These are things you have to look. Does it serve your needs? Does the ring have jumps in it? Does it not have jumps in it? Does it have barrels in it? Because maybe you're a barrel racer. Does it have, no jumps in there and no barrels in it because you don't want it to have anything in it, because maybe you want to turn your horse out in there occasionally? These are things you're going to have to think of. Do they have a hay loft? Do they have a place to keep the hay? Are they putting the hay in the tent? Is it going on the ground? Is it going in an empty stall? Another thing to find out is, what type of rules does the barn have? When it comes to coming to visit your horse. Are you allowed to come on weekends and holidays? Are you allowed to come at any time? Or do you have to text the owner, because you're going to be coming in, let's say 8 o'clock at night, and they don't want anybody coming in at 8 o'clock at night. These are things you have to find out. Another thing you have to find out, where you're going to be putting your tack box. Where you're going to be storing your saddle. What does the facility look like? Is there a place for you to put your saddle? Is there a place to put your tack? Is there a place to put, let's say you're doing a rough board, is there a place to put your hay? Is there a place to put your grain? Is there a place to put all the stuff? You need to look at all this. And how is it formatted where you know what's your stuff versus somebody else, or you don't know? Questions to ask. Another question would be to ask is like, what if there's an issue at the facility? Who do I contact? How would you take care of an issue at the facility? Let's say the issue being that one of the boarders just wants to have their horse out all day in the main ring all day long and use that as their turnout. Who do you talk to? Is this allowed? Is this one of the things that, you know, is allowed at this facility? Many questions have to be asked. Do you have a contract? Do I have to sign it? Is there a riding contract? Are you going to have me put down, sometimes people ask for a fee up front, like in case your horse breaks something so they can fix it, a fee. Definitely things to look into, you know, how many times a day are they feeding? How many times a day are they not feeding, meaning it's all rough board? What about water? You know, are they watering your horses daily? Are they cleaning the buckets daily? Are they not cleaning your water buckets daily? Things to ask, things to look at. Definitely look at the other horses. If they look healthy, if they look fed, if they look happy. Definitely, you know, pay attention to the people there. You know, do they look happy? You know, how do they feel about the place? Because this is where you're going to be living, not you, but your horse. And you're going to have to get along with everybody there. And I find that sometimes personalities just don't mix. And you have to grin and bear it. And I would hate for you to move into a place and find out that this situation is not going to work for you and have to move out 2 weeks later. So it's really, really important that you go in with not just your eyes, you really go in with an open heart and you feel and you see if this is right for you. Another suggestion I would make, look at the parking situation. Think about your farrier. When your farrier comes in, how are they going to come in to get their shoes done? Is this an issue? Do you have to text them before? Because sometimes if it's a backyard barn, maybe you have to give them a heads up that your farrier will be coming to the backyard barn. Your veterinarian, do they have easy access to the horse, you know, coming in? These are just all things to be aware of and to think of when you're actually going to a place to visit. Another thing that I would suggest looking at would be taking a look at the hay quality. Like I said, you know, making sure that if it's first cut, your horse eats first cut. If it's second cut, you know, how does the hay look? Where do they get it from? You can ask those type of questions. You can also ask where they get their grain from. You know, just questions. There's nothing wrong with questions. And the reason why we do this is so you know what you're walking into and you know that you're getting what you're paying for, and you know you're going to be happy. Because if one of those questions that is answered is no, and it's something that is a no-go for you, then maybe you shouldn't be there. Another thing that I would suggest is finding out where your horse is going to be placement wise. And if it's, I'm just saying, like maybe your horse doesn't get along with mares and it's going to be right next to a mare, maybe you can, you know, this maybe won't work with you because your horse can be next to a mare and you know he doesn't do well when the mare is in heat and he actually, you know, wants to jump the fence or whatever he wants to do. So these are things to take into consideration when you're looking for a barn. You know, you really have to take your time, be patient with the process, and let it come to you. And my suggestion is to, you know, even if it's out of your, I guess your, town, go look at it anyway. Because what do you have to lose? Because maybe by looking at another barn, even in another town, you'll be like, oh, well, you know, it'll give you an idea of maybe what you're looking for, or maybe that barn is just right for you. You know, you never know. Sometimes we put ourselves in this little box and we don't want to sit here and let ourselves just branch out. All right, well, thank you, and please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I always make videos of things that like I feel like are important and things that I've gone through in my life as a horse owner. And it's just stuff that, you know, sometimes we don't talk about. So have a good day. Bye.